It's sort of deja vu with the fourth quarter, just not being able to close anything out here.
6 minutes to go, we had, I want to say 4 or 5 turnovers straight coming out of that timeout. And those led to 4 or 5 threes for them. And you just can't turn the ball over against them in those situations. They're too fast, too skilled, too talented, because they make you pay. I thought up until that point we had really played a real solid competitive basketball game, but like you said, we haven't figured out how to close it out. We just for whatever reason we tightened up.
Coach, you talked about wanting to see these guys trust each other, share the ball, execute in winning moments, tight moments. Is it frustrating to not see that?
Yes. It's really frustrating, but my job is to keep figuring out how to get them to do it. And use these painful examples to show them, and hopefully you can keep growing from it. The positive side of it is that's one of the best teams in the East. That team's going to contend, and that's 2 games in a row now against them that we pushed them to the brink. And those are real positives. We had some really good contributions tonight. Obviously Julius played well. RJ had a solid game, but I thought Dennis Smith Jr., finally had a game where, he can look at it and say, okay, here it goes. I'm getting my legs back. And, for the most part, up until that last stretch, I really thought we did a solid job defending them. That's a really tough team to guard. And, but that last 6 minutes coming out of that timeout, they just exploded on both ends of the floor, and we had no answer for them.
Hi. After the last game, you mentioned the team needed to work on free throws. You said they were doing better in practice. How did you feel they did today?
It's biting us. We missed 11. Can't miss 11 free throws against the Boston Celtics and think you're going to win a close game. So we just got to stay with it. We're going to keep coming up with creative ways to try to make them better at it. Right now, I think it's much more mental than it is technical. But we just got to stay with it because, again, if you go through, I would say, 8 of our losses, 9 of our losses, we either didn't shoot enough of them or we missed the ones that we did get.
Coach, in terms of the trapping and recovering, it seemed like you had a really nice stretch in the third quarter there for a while. How would you assess the overall effect of getting back out on the open shooters tonight?
We were doing a great job, I thought. I think they had made 10 threes going into the fourth quarter. And, we had them under, somewhere in the 30s in points in the paint. And then, that fourth quarter, they run off 5 threes on us. And so, again, it's just something that we got to keep harping on and working at. And I think those threes, though, that they got were much more based off of our turnovers. And now us being in a scramble mode and having to, find guys. And again, these guys don't miss open shots. And so they really made us pay in that fourth quarter.
Coach, Mitchell, again, with the foul trouble, is he doing the same things? I know he tried to work on it.
Yeah, I think there's been a little bit of a regression, but I always expect that from these kids. Always young guys, it's not like they just get it and then that's it, and that's on to the next thing. I still think he's got a lot of work to do when it comes to staying disciplined and focused in on not getting in foul trouble, because it does hurt us when we can't play him significant minutes.
Do you have any update on Frank and just what his injury is?
No, I don't. I got to find out once I get to the back. I know it was something to do with his back, but I'm not sure exactly what it was. I don't think it's severe, but, it's a chance he may miss the next game.
Coach, you guys had a lead a good portion of the game. If you could put your finger on it, what happens, and it's happened before, obviously, when you've got the lead and just something happens and all of a sudden...
Tonight it was turnovers. The turnovers sparked them. Jaylen Brown got the one steal coming out of timeout and got a layup out of it. And we literally, I want to say 4 more straight possessions, we turned the ball over, and they capitalized on each one of those. And when you have a lead, you got to get shots on goal.
if it's just kind of the end of the next 10-game segment, I was just kind of curious what of the season, the quarter of the season in, I was just kind of curious what your assessment was of the way, the last few weeks have gone.
I think we're becoming a better basketball team. Like I said, we got our ass whooped in Toronto, and sometimes that's going to happen to the best of them. It doesn't matter who you are. But if you look at our games against everyone else, we either won one or two there, and then every single other game we were right there competing for a chance to win. And that was the big thing we were fighting for, is getting to be more consistent and giving ourselves a chance to be more competitive.
All right. Thanks, Coach.
All right, guys.
Veterans around here by this point. You have so many new players, but you've been through a lot of these type of games already. What's the issue? Why do you guys seem to always play so well and have these leads, and then something goes wrong?
I think it's about just following through with the process. Like, towards the end, Boston's they're an experienced group. They got some young guys, they're experienced. They played a lot of games due to them winning, playoff experience and things of that nature. It's about executing whenever they really buckle down. You know what I'm saying? Like those like 4 turnovers, or how many we had on the road, is costly. It was costly, so it's about following suit. We gotta stick to the process. We can't be result oriented. We gotta stick to the process.
How are you feeling physically? You doing well?
Feel good.
You had a pretty good game today. It seems like everybody else, takes a different lead. You feel more comfortable today, and kind of maybe stepping up now and being more of the leader, floor leader, that kind of thing.
I do whatever's asked of me. You know what I'm saying? That's what my job is. To come in, whatever coach asks, that's what I try to fulfill.
Do you find yourself passing more than shooting?
Sometimes, yeah, but I mean, that's due to us having some talented guys, and me believing in them. I believe they'll make shots. It's about making the right play. You know what I'm saying? Making the right play. We got guys that's willing to move it. Can't really be selfish.
RJ, this team fought really hard in this one tonight, but really it came down to those stretch of late turnovers there. I mean, was it a difference in what the Celtics were doing defensively, or was it execution that wasn't coming together on your end?
A little bit of both. They came out and played hard, and even in those moments, we, gonna stay together. Still got to stay together and make the right plays.
So, moving forward, when you find yourself in this situation again, what would you do differently with the execution?
We hope to just move the ball and just run the plays and see what it gives us. I think coach is putting us in a good position. If we just run the plays and execute, be strong with the ball, we'll be good.
When this team is as deep as they are, how difficult is it to try to get the win when you're down 2 of your starters?
They're one of the best teams in the league, and just like I said, every game's a tough game, and just gotta play hard for 48, like I keep saying. 48 minutes is what'll get us one.
Coach just said now he sees a better basketball team after the last 10 games. Do you guys feel the same way here in the locker room?
Yeah, for sure. Everybody feels it. We all feel it that we're knocking on the door. Almost every game. We're right there. Just gotta get over the hump, and the coach said definitely a better basketball team, and we're gonna continue to get better.
Julius, extremely competitive game for you guys tonight, but those turnovers late in this one really hurt this team. What can you pinpoint in terms of went wrong during that stretch?
They were just turned it up. They got more aggressive, and we didn't. And I think that little lapse was the difference in the game.
In a game like this, how much do you miss Morris late when you guys have been able to work off of each other so well?
I miss him a lot. He's another scoring threat out there. Obviously on defense, we know what he does. But he's just another piece of our puzzle. We're a team, and when we're out there, we need everybody. And like you said, it's tough. Tough when we're having down the stretch, especially.